Amigos, look what I've done. Just look what I've done. See what my buddy done. I finished page 16 and got all the way through. I did some of it on Drive-In Saturday yesterday. On the last yesterday. And the big revelation on this page is that Fang is back. And he says, I found something in the lab. And he goes, you don't know anything. And I got page 17 drawn. I did this morning. Simple page, 3 pages, 3 panels. Because we're still in action mode. This is an action scene. So, and also, come on back now. Celeste is back too. So, things are happening. So we're going to start. I'm not going to do much on this page, I'm sure. But let us go ahead and start. Let us begin. By inking some panels. Panel borders. Oops. Let's see if we can fit that one in there. Okay. Well, that was easier than I thought because there's only 3 panels. Yes, my average is still 3. I think I figured out in Sketchbook why my sketchbook has been looking messy lately. And that is, well, there's 2 reasons. One is with the Borealis ink, works great with the brush. With the nib pen on that paper, it tends to scratch the paper because it's so liquidy. And so when it scratches the paper, 2 things happen. First of all, the paper fibers come up and end up on the end of the nib pen. And then the second thing is, once the paper's scratched, then the ink, which is liquidy, as we've established, tends to bleed. It bleeds at that point. I've certainly inked some lines that did not bleed, but I think the Borealis has a much greater chance of bleeding. So I think maybe I'll just stick with the Kuretake when I'm doing nib pen, at least in that kind of sketchbook. All right. Why is there so much talking during a fight scene, you may wonder? Well, it's important. Okay. I admit that I do a little bit minimal on the pencil stage on my digital stuff. And the reason is, well, there's the obvious part, which is that if you're doing both the penciling and the inking, you kind of know where it's going to go. The other reason is you don't have to follow the the way it's done on traditional media. If you're not using traditional media, it just doesn't. It's a different kind of thing. The rules are different. Oops. Well, I do know we're very close to the end here because Vex gets electrocuted in this page. So His goons are defeated, and he gets electrocuted, so we know the end of the story is coming. Alright. Oof. I'm slightly regretting my choice of a big foreshortened arm here. But I'm gonna do it anyways. Do it anyways. That's what Ben Fold says. Alright. Hangin is still holding him off with his sword. Vex still has his force field. But a secret is revealed. And the secret has to do with Hang's solo mission that he did. I don't like that triangle. I don't think I did good at that. Alright. We're hoping for it. Hey, shout out to Ninja Artist 360 who just joined our Discord. And Troll Heyman, who showed up. Troll, you got an invite too if you want. Let me know. And I say, new aspiring artists, welcome. Always all about that. Anyways, as I mentioned on Drive-In Saturday, I had this idea for a smaller book to publish. I even had a title for it, which is Coin Up Quarterly, and it'll actually be a quarterly book. And it would be set up to be completely self-sufficient. And when I say self-sufficient, I mean basically, even if nobody wanted to put anything in it except me, it would still be fine every time. And 9 Volt is kind of like that. But it's kind of gotten the rep of being a big book, over 100 pages usually. Some of them are, there's one that's over 200 pages. I think if I limit it to a smaller book, 32 pages, that's floppy sized. That would be easy to do. Considering my pace. If you look at all my videos, and you were to count the pages, and I were to count the pages that I've accomplished, I always set the goal for the last two years. I set it at 100 pages for the year. Finished comic pages. And then I try and go as far as I can to exceed that goal. The year of the lockdown, I had almost 300 pages. That's a ridiculous number because there's only 365 days in a year. Now, some of these are fairly low quality pages. Those are just when I was starting out. But my idea after that is, I mean, it's really about this 1,000 page, 10,000 hour. I don't think we're getting close to 10,000 hours, but Malcolm Gladwell sort of ideal, you know? I call it a self apprenticeship. I'm apprenticed to myself. Since we don't have a system of um, where you can become an apprentice to anyone, an art apprentice, you got to come up with some other alternative. So my idea here, 1,000 pages. This is like the Todd McFarlane, got to get through your first 1,000 crappy pages. And I started, and I've steadily improved. I'm not saying I'm a genius or anything like that, but I've gotten better over time. And better at all aspects, not just the drawing but it's also the writing the stories, and got to do lettering. You got to figure out how you're gonna. I'm trying to learn inking now. If you've been paying attention to my stuff, and you got to put the work in. That's that phrase right there. Put the work in. Well, that appeals to me right away. Put the work in. Right? Oh, let's call this bubbles. I'm forever blowing bubbles. There we go. Boom. Are we in bubbles? We're in bubbles. And it involves a lot of studying. It involves taking class when I can afford it. You know? Oops. Oh, all right, never mind. Where was I going with this? You have to take responsibility. And you can't just be I'll talk. You can't be a BSer. Comics is filled with BSers. And you know it. Oh, crud. So, anyways. Also, as easy as it is to get ahead of yourself and say, okay, look, I've already figured out how to publish. I'm a star now. I've already been published in a real comic. Actually, I signed a release form last night. I'm in another book. Um, but that don't make you no star. Let's get that bubbles again. I'm looking at this page, and it would really benefit from some kind of background element. It's like if we had a texture or something. Like what? Let's say we did some cross hatching. Hang on, let's do that. I think if I go to cross hatching, I'm gonna put it on its own layer in case this sucks. All right, this is cheating. Um, digital cross hatching. It's a little too soft. Look at it. It's too pencily. It's too pencily. I don't like that. That's why I put it on its own layer. Maybe there's something more bold. That looks bold right there. Let's try cross hatching one. Hey, that's not bad. If I make the thing smaller, okay. Yeah, what do you think? I think it's good. It's fine. All right. Let's bring back. Hang on. Ink layer. I'm going to leave it there for a while. We'll decide later on if we like it. Come here. Kasinki. There we go. Um, so, anyways, this quarterly thing, the entire point, 32 pages, don't go over. It could be one story, 32-page story. It could be, or 31-page story with a, a one-page indicia or copyright notice or something. It could be two 16-pagers. It could be four 8-pagers. Um, and make it themed, just like the 9-volt. All the lessons incorporated in the 9-volt. We could put in there. 9-volt itself will be in our 10th volume, which is coming out in June. And I'm just thinking I don't have to do the 11th one. I could just switch over to quarterly format, you know, and just continue to march forward to victory. Mm. It did kind of get out of control right away. Now that I think about it, when I started organizing the project, I think a lot of people just kind of didn't get it or misunderstood, or in certain cases, intentionally misunderstood. They say that success has 1,000 fathers. Failure only one. Well, that's totally true. She should have maintain her feminine looking eye. Let's see. For the horse, you got to do this sort of angular. And she has a star-shaped mark. Too thick on her forehead. There we go. You can tell I've been reading a lot of Silver Age Justice League. The way I resolve this. I don't know, you'll see soon enough. Oh, shucks. Got some bleed over from my cross-hatching. Or do I? I do not. I do. I do. Alright, let's get back into the inky layer. And, early in the process of doing the 9-volt, I mean, we kind of end up cutting a lot of our, our wild dreamlike ideas to make it, more accessible. That there was going to be like a Dr. Mole that would do things, and then there was going to be things like, at the time, Evan was really into cutaways, like doing like a cutaway of a base or a vehicle or something like that. I'm thinking maybe doing something like that. And I think this would all come back. Like we could get some of those ideas back. Um, it would probably just be me doing it, but I mean, it fits kind of nicely into my schedule. 30 days. How many pages can you do with 30 days, especially if you have a head start? Well, I mean, 90 days. And I average about a page every 2 days. That's 45 pages. I'm only looking for 32. And I'm going to try and have like the first one done before I launch it, so that there'll always be like an issue ahead. I don't know. Right now it's just a daydream. That's certainly something I'm thinking of. And then if other people wanted to be in it still, that's fine. But I think we're going to have some kind of agreement so that people don't misunderstand. Let's see. Also, the price point. Oh, the other thing is digest size, manga sized. And the price point would be much lower for those two reasons. For printing. Which means, yeah, you could set it for a modest profit, even through crowdfunding. I mean, not even through print on demand. I'm not willing to give it print on demand just yet, especially since it solves the international problem. International shipping is like $5. Um, it solves the shipping and handling and storefront issues. I don't know. That's pretty good. Maybe we'll take a look at Amazon, do a price point comparison, and then figure out what's up with that. Oh, let's take a look at her. There she is. And then, slowly as my skills hopefully increase, the quality will go up, and so we won't ever have that awkward beginning that we had with 9-volt, where we had a lot of people that were just, it was their first time doing anything, so they, quality was all over the map. Some people were really good. Some people were really not. There's definitely a lot of things I would have done differently if I had known what I know now. with my own stuff. Okay, this line. Oops. So unlike Blaze, she has very short fur. So we could go themed, but I could do my superheroes again. There's just a lot of options. Oops. And the pulp stuff that I kind of want to do. She has a tail, a horse tail. Whoops. And I gotta do her wings. Oops. When you're holding a bow, where's the thumb go? I think that the thumb can be behind the two front fingers are important because that's where the arrow is knocked, right? And too thick. Yeah, it's too much. Oops. Whoops. Maybe not that. A lot of times when you're trying to work out a difficult foreshortening or an arm position, you draw the hand and then you try and kind of place the arm in context. If you know where the hand goes, then often you do know that stuff. All right, here we go. All right, there's some motion arrows. Celeste is in the grand tradition of comic book archers, like Hawkeye and Green Arrow. She has gimmick arrows. Now we just got to figure out where the bows are at. Where's her wings at, rather? Oh, don't like that one. Initially, I had the both wings going this way. I think I'm gonna. The way I'm drawing them right now, so I'm putting one this way and one that way. Wing and wing. Wing and wing is a a sailing term for when you have your mainsail and your jib. Mainsail going one way and the jib going the other way. And you're just running in front of the wind. Ooh. All right, man. Look. It is a Sunday. All right. Have I reached my mark of 30 minutes? 32 minutes? It's more like a guideline. The reason it's there is to make the video still watchable by people. Not everyone's got hours and hours to look at stuff. I mean, yesterday I was literally drawing all day. Some of the drawings were terrible. Just pure shite. But it's okay. It's okay, y'all. All right. Yeah, we're getting somewhere, baby. All right. Please like, comment, subscribe, what haves you, and there will be more comics every day, every single day, and be on the lookout for the 9-volt Adventure Awaits anthology, which is coming out, and maybe, you know, if my daydreams become reality dreams or day realities, if my dreams become reality, there will be Coin Op Quarterly. Or something like it. I don't know if I'll go with that name, but it's going to be some kind of quarterly thing. You never heard such comics. All right. And follow me at Instagram on RabbitFighter13, where you can catch this entire story, and actually all of Brillig will be in there as well. All right, and parts of Tarzan are in there as well. Tarzan's much slower because I'm having it colored, and so whenever and it's on time. It's me that's late at this point. I'm not really late. I'm not really late until June, which it's April. So talk to you later.